Is your friend's organizational structure on the road to success? Is everyone in your organization on the same road? Does your organization have a plan to reach your destination together? Do you even know what your organization's destination is? Is technology part of that plan, and do you have a plan for the technology? Welcome to FWSP Presents Pathways to Success. My name is Randy Paskey. I'm currently the chair for the Outreach Committee. I have been on the member of the Friends of Wisconsin State Parks for over 9 years and the Friends of Wyalusing State Park for a long time. I have participated in several conferences over my years as a teacher of 33 years, as well as a participant in FWSP conferences. When I was asked to do a presentation on organizational planning and best practices for an organization, I was open to the challenge and accepted it with a little bit of trepidation. I have been with organizations all my working and retired life. Some organizations ran down the roadway smoothly, making planned stops along the way on the way to reaching the mission. Others seemed like it was flying along without any idea of their direction, bouncing along, ricocheting from end to end, and eventually it reached the end of its life and faded away. I realize that this topic is way too broad to cover in a 15 or 20-minute presentation. There's an abundance of diverse opinions about effective nonprofit organizations, both large and small. To function as effectively as possible, an organization needs to establish a process for making decisions that works for them. Develop and consistently follow a set of standard operating procedures and, at the same time, being mindful of whom they are and what they mean to the smaller community as well as the community at large. Thus, an organization plan for success depends upon its ability to plan for a desired result. Sometimes this is called operational planning. This presentation presents best practices for how to make decisions effectively. Let's dive into this and see if an operational plan or the process of planning just might be useful to your friends group or organization. An organization's mission describes the organization's purpose and its overall direction. The mission is the reason your organization even exists. A mission statement is used by an organization to explain in simple and concise terms its purposes for being. The statement is generally short, either a single sentence or even a short paragraph. It should provide a compass for decision making. Usually, your organization has a mission statement. Sometimes the mission can be found in the organization's bylaws. So, most of us already have completed this step. That's the good news. The purpose of this presentation is not to create a mission statement. No matter the size of the organization, the mission provides a direction for decision making. In our pathways to success, it's the reason we chose the path we did. Let's take a look at a couple of mission statements. The mission for the Friends of Wisconsin State Parks, a larger organization, is preserving, promoting, protecting, and enhancing Wisconsin state parks, forests, trails, and recreation areas. The mission for the Friends of Wyalusing is to support, assist, and promote the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources with interpretive, scientific, historical, educational, and related visitor services at Wyalusing State Park. And I'll bet you can't say that in one breath. The next part in our pathway is to plan the rest stops along the way. In our operational plan, these are called strategies. In our pathways to success, they are shown by mapping points along the path to the mission. In the realm of strategic planning, strategies are practical ideas about how to make the best use of your resources to achieve your goals. The strategies are built upon the mission. While determining the strategies, members of your organization engage in open, constructive debate, sometimes even challenging the status quo. Through discussion, members of the organization reach consensus on the practices and values your team will intentionally apply to the decision-making process. In other words, we're all on the same path together. As the organization discusses and strives to reach consensus, each strategy is discussed in terms of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to the organization. Sometimes small organizations skip this strategic planning because of time constraints. This is understandable due to the planning process, but please consider developing a few strategies that supports your friend's mission. This best practice helps members of the organization to agree on the practices and values your members will intentionally apply to this planning process. Here's the FWSP mission. Now, let's add a strategy or marker that supports promoting state parks, forests, trails, and recreation areas, part of the mission. Let's stop at the marker, otherwise known as a strategy for promoting. The strategy for promoting FWSP provides the goal or the rest stop along the path to this success. This is only one of the many rest stops along our path, along the path of FWSP, path to success of reaching that mission. Now that we have a strategy or goal, we can get into actually creating a plan for each rest stop along the way. At this point, I know you're saying it's about time. This is where organizations usually begin the planning process. The questions of why we are doing this and when it's being done have not really been understood or discussed by members of the organization. This strategy was adopted by the FWSP Outreach Committee. What's the plan that the Outreach Committee devised to satisfy this strategy? This is the planning statement. It strives to identify resources and identify stakeholders. The plan should leave nothing to chance. Here, we must be very specific, lay out concrete plans to reach the end goal. Break these into small steps. Sometimes, when determining the small steps, one must work backwards. We start with a goal and then determine what the preceding step would look like. For example, the FWSP Outreach Committee set a goal to increase the Friends contacts by 70% with a one-time newsletter email. The preceding step might be to email the same letter to those who did not click on the initial email. Each of these steps would have subsets to further break them up. We identify the resources that we have available for use. We list all of the software available, the cost, the training, and other resources that we will need to accomplish each task. Again, we leave nothing to chance. A fully fleshed out document will include the milestones, deliverables, objective measurable metrics. Sometimes one can look to past projects for these milestones. Key people or stakeholders are identified. What will their roles be? What is their timeline? These are the people that will carry out the project. Another best practice is to maximize communication. This is the first paragraph for the activity plan for the Outreach Committee of the FWSP for that communication or promotion strategy. Details include the free part of an email service of MailChimp that will be used to develop the newsletter using free templates. Email openings will be tracked and accounted for at each email. If links are provided in that email, they will be also tracked. Training will be accomplished via MailChimp videos. The operational plan moves from very general to more specific. We have identified the what of the mission, the why or strategic goals, the where and how in part 3 activities. The next section is the who. Next, if the committee involves more than one person, assign roles and responsibilities to team members. Select and assign people to tasks based on their skills. Lay out communication strategies so you're all on the same page. Is there only one person? Make sure that everybody's responsibilities match their skills. Be specific about reporting structures and deadlines. If your operational plan includes a few members, consult with each member. Meet with planning members individually for a gut check along the way. Did you miss anything? Did you put too much on their plate or not enough? Did you assign tasks appropriately? Another best practice is developing trust in others. Reward successes. An Add-a-Person award, special mention in a newsletter, or a coupon for a free donut goes a long way. Who is responsible for the FWSP newsletter? That would be me. And what's the reward? Well, at this point, the Outreach Committee Chair is responsible for the newsletter. The reward is a job well done and readership increases. Also, favorable comments along the way from both board members and readers are appreciated. We monitor progress and adjust as necessary to ensure everything's on track. If there are more than one person on the operations plan, try to keep everyone on track with deadlines and reporting. Another best practice, flexibility, comes into play. A rigid project is doomed to failure. Assess the goals frequently, based on importance. Maybe a few roles have to be shuffled. A good relationship with members of the committee will allow switching roles as needed with no feelings of being stepped upon. Have a post-project meeting. When you finish the project, meet with your team to talk over what went right and what could be improved. Keep a positive outlook and encourage honesty so that you can identify opportunities to execute the next project even better. Instead of a roadway analogy, let's use this flow chart. Operational planning, or how an organization performs decision-making, involves 5 parts. Each part provides direction to the organization. The people within the organization and the operating procedures are established. Members of the organization are mindful of whom they are and what they mean to the community. One last topic for your organization's best practices must include the role of technology. At what point along this pathway to success does your organization consider implementing technology? When you're looking to implement new technology solutions for your organization, the last thing you do is to skip the planning process. The planning process must consider 4 things: analysis of the organization's needs, identifying how technology will fit into your existing structure, whether or not it fits into your organization does well, and what your leadership and members think will help them work and communicate with each other better. You can't make the right choices for your organization's technology if you don't know what your specific needs are. Consider what challenges your organization faces and how they might overcome them. Are these challenges communication, or banking, or storage and cybersecurity, or something else? One thing I want to emphasize is you should only implement technology when you believe and your members believe it will truly make things easier in the long run. The key phrase here is the long run. Adopting technology sometimes is a daunting task if no one can see the final outcome. Sometimes organizations implement technology solutions with only make things more complicated, which is the exact opposite of what it's supposed to do. Small organizations often struggle with large upfront costs associated with purchasing new technology solutions, mostly due to the large payments not being particularly conducive to budgeting. I'm not saying you can't purchase technology or services up front. Sometimes there are benefits to doing so, but what I am saying is that you could look at other options. Open source software or other services that with monthly payment model or web accessible services. These services tend to be more scalable and fit easily into budgets. With the right technology solutions, your organization can run more efficiently. For example, Rather than purchasing standalone software, consider online possibilities, even free ones, with the opportunity to scale up when needed. Sharing common software accessible by the organization members increases communication. These solutions also offer online storage that is backed up. Adopting online business solutions often provides safe, inexpensive software and data that is backed up and safe from cyber attacks. If your organization relies on USPS for outgoing communications or services, having to go to the post office twice daily might not be a good solution. Consider purchasing or renting a postage machine or using software to purchase the cost of outgoing mail. With technology in the banking industry, almost everything can be done online, even deposits. In other words, you are supplementing businesses with technology that makes efforts easier and more effective. If you're unsure of how your business can more effectively utilize technology, consider asking your members for their feedback. Ask them what challenges they face and how they might address them. Take some time to make informed decisions regarding the technology that you eventually go to implement for your organization. Plus, the leadership and members of your opinions matter. So, if you can learn a thing or two about your organization by listening to their woes that make your organization a better place to work as a whole. Thank you for participating in this little adventure. I'm convinced that many of our friends groups do operational planning. Try new things when it's warranted. Success breeds success. All will leave the table satisfied that the plan worked. Oh, and one more thing about an operational plan. An operational plan is only as good as you and your friends want it to be. Sometimes good enough is the right answer. On behalf of the Friends of Wisconsin State Parks, this is Randall Paskey. Please remember to enjoy your state park. Take a trail less traveled. Walk in a state forest, listening to the wind, and have fun in your favorite recreation area.